Yeah, g'day. It's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website kangaroocourtofaustralia.com. Now, today, Bruce Lerman gave evidence for the first time under oath in his defamation case against Channel 10 and News Corp. And it wasn't pretty, it was a car crash. Now, it wasn't the final hearing, it's only interlocutory hearing and it's only part heard, which means it'll be heard again next week on the 23rd of March. The final part will be heard then. And the hearing is about whether he should be allowed an extension of time to file his defamation claim. He's only allowed 12 months to file the claim. And it's been almost 2 years or a bit over. And so he was arguing he should be given an extension of time. The reason being, he says his lawyer gave him legal advice that he should focus on the criminal charges at the time. But the problem is there were no criminal charges at the time. He waited 6 months. Then he was charged criminally, and he focused on that, and he dealt with that first. So that in itself, because he's got criminal charges afoot, doesn't stop him filing a claim. And two examples were given. John Jarratt, the actor, he was accused of rape and he sued for defamation. And Geoffrey Rush, he was accused of sexually assaulting a lady and he sued for defamation. They didn't wait. They filed claims pretty quickly. So that's still to be decided by the judge, Justice Lee, in the Federal Court of Australia. It was heard in Sydney, and that'll be determined, or the last part will be heard next week. He might reserve his judgment. But the bottom line to Bruce Lerman and the evidence he gave, he just totally lost credibility. He confessed to lying to his girlfriend multiple times and also another friend multiple times. And I think there was a third person he confessed to lying to, but I actually missed a minute or two of the hearing. The hearing was a long hearing, went from 8 o'clock this morning till 4:30 this afternoon, Queensland time. So that's 9 o'clock Sydney time to 5:30 p.m., which is a very long day for the hearing. They normally finish earlier, 4 p.m. Anyhow, he was giving evidence and he admitted to lying, and that undermines his evidence that he'll give in the future. He went to final hearing because that was always going to be an issue. He's given multiple different stories, one to the federal police where he said he went back to Parliament House because he had urgent work to do. And he told his boss that he went back there to continue drinking. But his boss told the court in the rape trial that he didn't have any urgent work to do. That was a lie. And he never had any alcohol in the office. So that was another lie. Well, that's what she said anyhow. So he was always going to have to deal with those multiple different stories he's told in the defamation case, because at the trial of the rape case, he refused to give evidence. But he was always going to have to deal with it in this defamation case, or he could have tried to refuse to give evidence. But now he's given evidence at this interlocutory hearing where he wasn't asked detailed questions about the rape. They weren't allowed to. They could only focus on the evidence in relation to why he didn't file his claim within the 12-month period. So it was only a limited cross-examination, but by him admitting those lies, well, when they come to cross-examine him about the evidence he gave the police, the evidence he gave his boss, how it was contradictory, they're going to reference back to the lies he admitted telling to his girlfriend and a friend and potentially a third person. And they're going to say, look, as soon as these allegations hit, because that was the context of the lies. On the 15th of February 2021, it hit the media that an alleged rape happened, and he says he went to see a lawyer, even though he wasn't named. He said he obviously identified it as being him, and he was talking to his girlfriend and the friend, and his girlfriend was very upset. So to try and calm her down, he says he made up lies. He fabricated conversations he had with his lawyer, which were total lies. He said, look, my lawyer said I'm not going to be charged, and I've got 2 defamation lawyers now working on it. I'm going to go after the media. So he's talking himself up, trying to calm his girlfriend down. That's what he says. And so he told her lies. He told the friend lies. Well, what that says is when the allegations of rape hit, he didn't hesitate to lie to people about it. So why is he lying? And why did he lie to the federal police? He never spoke to the federal police until April 2021. Why did he lie to them and say he had urgent work to do when he didn't? His boss said he didn't have urgent work to do. Is he saying his boss was lying? And he told his boss that he went back to the drink, continued drinking. Is he saying his boss was lying about that as well? Who knows? But he's going to have multiple different people contradicting the evidence that he gave or the stories he told in relation to the rape. And I'll make this point too. We didn't hear it today. Next Thursday, the 23rd of March, there's going to be a lawyer, John Corn, the lawyer he met. Oh, not John Corn, I think it's Rick Corn, the son. But anyhow, the lawyer he met on the 15th of February 2021, when the allegations hit the media that he allegedly raped Brittany Higgins at the Parliament House. He wasn't named, but he identified himself. He went and seen a lawyer, and he went and seen the lawyer after it hit the News Corp paper. Samantha Maiden wrote a story, and it wasn't till later that afternoon or night, early night, 6:30 p.m., that it hit the Project. Lisa Wilkinson ran a story, and Brittany Higgins did the interview. So he watched that with his lawyer, John Corn, or the lawyer he had been decided to consult. And that lawyer is going to hop in the witness stand next Thursday. And based on the arguments early on today, the barristers for Channel 10, Lisa Wilkinson and News Corp, they were saying that based on the evidence as it currently stood, there are contradictory evidence by Bruce Lerman and the lawyer. So they're going to contradict each other with the evidence they gave. Now, how it started out today, Bruce Lerman wasn't going to give evidence. He was avoiding it. And the evidence he gave was done by what he told a lawyer, what's his name? Sylvans, Paul Sylvans, I think his name is. And so it was hearsay evidence that Paul Sylvans had filed. And he had also filed second-hand hearsay evidence from this Rick Corn, the lawyer that Bruce Lerman had met on the 15th of February 2021. And so they're going to refuse to give evidence. Well, Bruce Lerman certainly was, and the lawyer was avoiding it as well, saying he couldn't be there, apparently. But the judge started striking out all this evidence because of hearsay, second-hand hearsay, which is actually allowed at an interlocutory hearing. But because they were refusing to give evidence because of contradictory evidence, that forced their hand, and Bruce Lerman actually hopped in the witness stand. And they were only allowed to cross-examine him on limited information, not the full amount of information. But then he made those big admissions that he was lying to his girlfriend, the friend, and apparently other person. And so he's in a lot of trouble, and his credibility is shot. What he should have done today is build a foundation from which to lead into the final hearing of credibility. He should have come across as a very credible witness, but he came across as a very deceptive and deceitful witness who was prepared to lie at the drop of a hat. Well, not a drop of a hat, it was a serious allegation, but he was prepared to lie when that allegation hit the fan. So that suggests his lies to the federal police, or alleged lies, it's contradictory evidence that he gave the federal police, and the contradictory evidence he gave to his boss about why he went back to Parliament House. It's just going to be an absolutely quicksand is what it's going to be. Instead of building a foundation of cement to resurrect his reputation, today he's built a foundation of quicksand, and he's just going to continue to sink, I think, once he hops back in the witness stand at a final hearing, if he does go to final hearing. I believe he should withdraw the claim. He's going to get absolutely hammered. But it's a bit like Ben Roberts-Smith. I suppose they feel they have nothing to lose, so they may as well follow through. Bruce Lerman might think that too. He might think, well, I've got nothing to lose. My reputation will be trashed. I might as well follow through to final hearing. Even if I do perjure myself, they won't jail me. They don't do that at defamation hearings. Well, we'll see what happens. Now, the judge did today allude that he would find in Bruce Lerman's favour and allow the extension of time, but we'll see what happens because the hearing isn't over yet. They've got three barristers there arguing against the extension of time, so we'll see what happens. And please share this video on Facebook and Twitter, etc. And the Kangaroo Court of Australia YouTube channel and website and Facebook page is independent media. So please support my Patreon account. There'll be a link below the video on YouTube, and there's links on my website. And that's what helps me publish the videos and articles, and you can donate any amount, $3, $5, $10, $15, $20, whatever suits your budget. Thank you for your time and have a good day.